Local Women Magazine presents Local Women Podcast, the show for things that matter. Keeping an Eye on It podcast from Local Women Magazine is brought to you by Cathedral Eye Clinic, Northern Ireland's leading eye specialist.
Hello again, it's Kim Kelly from the Local Woman Podcast. We're keeping an eye on it today. And look, we're somewhere new. This is our new podcast studio. Isn't it fabulous, girls?
Yeah, beautiful.
I feel quite glamorous behind this potted plant. Yes. So this is the Keeping an Eye on It podcast, sponsored by Cathedral Eye Clinic. And this is the podcast where we get to have our say on things that are bothering us. So with me today, I have a great team of ladies. Starting over here, we have Teresa, Reid. Now, Teresa runs her own rental business in Antrim. Teresa, how's business?
Oh, business is very, very, very affluent at the minute. It really is.
It's hard to get a rental these days, isn't it?
It is, but there's so much demand out there. There's absolutely a third of the stock that there used to be. So, you know, it's driving prices up. Unfortunately, not everyone can be successful with their application, but we're here to assist as best we can.
So how much of your life is like selling sunset?
Oh, it's not.
That's disappointing, Teresa.
We've just recruited a new member of staff. When we had the interview with her, that was the first thing I said was, this is not selling sunset. This is not a nice industry at times.
This is selling Antrim. Yeah. It could be a spin-off. Maybe a spin-off show. Yeah. You know, maybe we'll put that to the BBC or something. Will we see how? And next to Teresa, we have the gorgeous Jane Hardy, writer, gal about town, blogger, podcaster. Jane, what have you been up to since last we met? Meeting any members of the royal family or Margaret Thatcher?
I've been in trauma about the royal family.
We're going to come to that later because we do love to talk about the royals.
I'm afraid I've been doing some hospital visiting of my dear husband, and I've fallen in love with the cafe at the Royal Victoria Hospital. That's what makes it all right.
Apparently this cafe in the Royal Victoria Hospital is amazing. You get a roast dinner and apparently it's really good.
You do get a roast dinner for about a £5, you know, turkey dinner, Christmas dinner.
Like, we bring you the latest news here of the hot places to go in town, and you could bump into a hot doctor.
You could indeed, yes, hot surgeon. So you could say, may I share your table?
Exactly, dinner for a £5. Girls, you've heard this here first.
Yes.
As long as it's not the operating theatre, the operating table.
Oh, I know.
No.
Exactly, that would be terrible.
And here we have the lovely Curran, who is an actress. We all know her. An actress and a singer. No, we were talking about this. You said you're not a singer, that you're an actress that can hold a note.
Yes.
But you're launching a new show in the Opera House, of all places. The gal has grown up. I love it. Tell us about your show.
So my show is in the Grand Opera House studio and it's called Deck the Halls. Yes. And it's about a girl called Scarlett, who's a very successful actress, who has done good for herself. And her parents have passed away and she's adopted. So she decides to go on a lovely sort of foreign holiday to try and sort of find herself, like retrace her steps and see if she can find sort of any memories. And there's some unexpected surprises along the way that she finds it.
Now, this is not a panto, this is an adult panto.
It's an adult Christmas show. So we always describe our shows as a Christmas comedy with heart. Right. And to give you a wee bit of a laugh and a lift at Christmas for only an hour.
Oh, it's only an hour?
Yeah, straight in, straight out. You can get the bus home, the night buses will have started. You can get your dinner.
So yes, this is going to be our evening. We'll go to the Royal. We're going to go to the Royal and then we're going to get the bus in.
Because you'll have laughed that hard, you've broke some ribs, and that's where you'll get your £5 meal deal.
That's it. Okay, girls, let's get on to our first topic.
Keeping an Eye on It podcast from Local Women Magazine is brought to you by Cathedral Eye Clinic, Northern Ireland's leading eye specialist.
Right, our first topic. This is really beginning to annoy me, actually. But anyway, I'll just come from behind the palm to talk about the first topic. I know. Hello.
Pretend that I'm a celebrity.
It is kind of like I'm a celebrity. Anyway, what is annoying me? Stop, leave me alone. What is annoying me this week the menopause. Now, not my own personal menopause, because I'm not here to talk about my gynae issues. Nobody wants to hear that. But you know what, girls? I feel like a few years ago, nobody talked about the menopause. Our mothers wouldn't have talked about them. We grew up, and my God, you wouldn't have mentioned your period. You know what I mean? But do you not find it's just like menopause, menopause, menopause everywhere you go? I feel that we're actually being a little bit ripped off. I was scrolling through Facebook. I was doom scrolling, as you do, and I saw this like course run by a man about the menopause, and I'm like, get out of town. I just think I think they're now taking the hand out of us. What do you think, Carolyn?
I think because I'm coming up to that age where I think, yes, I am. Yes, 41 now, so probably perimenopausal. Yes. I think it's good that we have a lot more information than we did, because I remember my mother. Yes, Mammy. I remember her going through the menopause. She went into early onset menopause.
And she would not thank you for talking about
No, she wouldn't. No. But the way her life changed and how she was as a person, and it was just such a struggle, and no one really knew back then, not much about HRT, and then people, you didn't know where to go and who was speaking about, because no one spoke about it, as you say. I think it's good to have more information now. There is a lot of information, which, but I think it all depends on you as a person, how it could be tailor-made to you, because everyone's different. And we know it is a genuine chemical imbalance. But that's kind of, I know it's coming. Because I can feel myself. You go from 0 to 100 in a blink of an eye. And I'm like, is this it? Is it? Oh no, it's just me. It's just my personality.
So the menopause train. Jane, were you hit by the menopause train?
No, scarcely noticed it. Had it quite early, like my mother, and she actually didn't change into a monster. Strangely, she remained herself, and I think she kind of ignored it, to be perfectly honest. But I think I have a feeling what concerns me, and we never hear from anybody apart from Mariola Frostrup. Well, we hear from lots of people, but she in particular, she's a sort of minister for menopause, really. I think. And I think that what concerns me is that people will then use this as an excuse to hit women over the head and say maybe you're underperforming in some way in the workplace. And I know of at least one example of a woman who was maybe off her game that day, probably not, and was asked if this was because of the menopause by her manager, her female manager, interestingly. And I think that this is a risk here. So it's a bit like time of the month, It can be, it's very good to have information, it's good to have treatment, it's good to have help. It's bad when people start to use that as an excuse for misogyny and downing women. I think that is a problem, slightly.
Teresa, do you think we're being hit over the head with the menopause?
Absolutely. You would scroll, and on your feed comes these, in particular, there's one guy in particular I've noticed of late that he is very prominent on it, and he would just hold up cards, and
About the menopause.
And about, make sure that you're supporting your wife, and
Oh, go away. I don't like him already.
seems to be another way for him to find fame by using someone else and pretending that he knows all about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, my husband, he's been very supportive with my journey. And to be honest, I didn't know what I was experiencing for a lot of years leading up to it, and genuinely thought that I had fibromyalgia or something like that. And I didn't go to the doctor because, again, my mother was very, very young when she went through menopause. I didn't have anyone to talk to about this. And because we came from that generation where it wasn't discussed, it wasn't talked about, it was change of life. One day you had your period, the next day you didn't. And that's basically what you were told. It's a bit like when people were discussing baby blues as opposed to postnatal depression. So whenever it was my turn, I just thought, I didn't understand the symptoms, nails breaking, hair falling out, skin, all of the things, and the aches and pains that came with it. And I genuinely thought that I had fibromyalgia for about 3 or 4 years and didn't go to my doctor. Obviously, I connected the dots eventually. But yeah, I mean, it's fabulous. I think was it Davina McCall brought out that book? I think she brought it in a more modern and accessible to everyone. I think that's whenever that floodgate opened, but I do feel that it's starting to sway in the opposite direction. But my husband, my husband would be very supportive. You know, he would look up and he would bring me back these wee supplements, which again brings you into that where you're looking at supplements and you start taking the supplements, and then you're paranoid. You're terrified to come off the supplements because you don't know if they're working or not, but you don't want it to get any worse.
So would you spend money, Karen? Would you spend money for a man to tell you about the menopause?
No, thank you. No, I'd rather go and get the supplements.
We are not men haters. We just like women. We just like women.
There's a difference between, you know, a man understanding and, you know, being sympathetic to, you know, being mansplained.
Patronising, maybe?
And dictating. Yes.
Would you go on a course? Would you go on like a menopause course? Menopause goddess course?
I'm up for anything, mate. Like, I'm always, because it's always good ammunition for shows as well.
You could bring the menopause into your Christmas show.
Well, sure, who knows? There might be a show coming about menopause. I might be in it. Someone might be here to talk about it soon. So, yeah, we'll leave that one for another day.
Jane, do you think you're going to write a book about the menopause? Maybe you could cash in.
I could cash in, yes. I could write about the menopause.
Pretend you had loads of symptoms.
And pretend I had loads of symptoms, yes. And I was, yes, okay, I can take them all down. Yeah. No, I don't think so, because I still feel, yes, there's mansplaining, and we don't like that.
We don't like mansplaining.
No, we don't. I just feel there's labelling, and I think that is kind of a problem. I think that it's very easy to say, oh, well, that's why so-and-so is not performing well, or that's why, you know, she's up and down emotionally. It may just be that she's up and down emotionally. It could be other reasons, and I think there is a slight risk here. So I can't see myself bringing out The Menopause Journey by Jane Hardy anytime soon. You know.
I don't know, I think it's got a nice ring to it. I think it's got a nice ring to it. Now, what would your mother say about you sitting in a podcast talking about the menopause?
Oh, she'd be horrified. Oh, she'd have been horrified. Absolutely horrified.
My mum would be like, for goodness sake, Kim, keep things private, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Like our mothers just kind of, you know, got hot and then just got on with it. And you certainly didn't talk about periods. I mean, we grew up like not...
No, my mother's a polar opposite. She'd sit and tell you every single detail in and out. Yep, she would. She was always very open, where I was a bit more shy. But she was so open, so I had no reason to be so shy, because
So you reacted to that.
I'm not sure that anybody would call you shy. I like says the girl who stands up on the stage in the opera house doing a do you feel shy? Do you actually feel shy?
Yeah.
Is that your alter ego that's not shy?
Yes, definitely.
Is that like, what is it Beyonce calls her, Sasha Fierce?
Fierce.
Is it really just Sasha Fierce? Like,
Don't know if I could use Sasha Fierce here. It would be different connotations with the Sash, wouldn't it?
that's funny that you think you're shy.
Well, I think sometimes in situations I can be quite shy. Can't I, Jane? I'm very shy right now.
No.
But then when you go on stage, it's like, it's just different.
You're another person.
Another
It's
person.
a
It's not me.
persona. No.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. We've talked enough about menopause and how men, can you just stop talking about the menopause, please? Thank you. Thanks.
Local Women Magazine presents Local Women Podcast, the show for things that matter. Keeping an Eye on It podcast from Local Women Magazine is brought to you by Cathedral Eye Clinic, Northern Ireland's leading eye specialist.
Step into style and comfort with Shivers Bathrooms. From timeless traditional suites to sleek, ultra-contemporary designs, we've carefully selected everything you need. Baths, furniture, taps and accessories to create the sanctuary you deserve. Visit Shivers Bathrooms, 21 Hillhead Road, Toonbridge, or follow Shivers Bathrooms on Instagram.
Make your living room the heart of your home with Glen Hill. From media walls to fireplaces, stoves to electric fires, we blend traditional charm with contemporary style. Visit Glen Hill, Stockman's Way, Belfast, or glenhill.co.uk. Glen Hill, affordable quality for over 40 years.
Transform your home with style and grace. At Decora Blinds Belfast, we offer elegant, made-to-measure blinds, blending beauty with functionality. From vibrant Alumatech aluminium Venetians to stunning shutter blinds, each available in a range of colours and slot widths. Wood or PVC Venetians, you'll hardly know the difference. Add tapes for that extra touch of luxury. Discover timeless design. Discover Decora Blinds Belfast.
Keeping an Eye on It podcast from Local Women Magazine is brought to you by Cathedral Eye Clinic, Northern Ireland's leading eye specialist.
Okay, ladies, have you ever heard of the tired tax? Now, I spend my life going, I'm tired. Like, I'm just constantly tired. I don't know if I nap all the time. I'm tired. Now, research has shown that there's a thing called the tired tax, and that's money you spend because you're tired. So, coffee's £70 a month. Fast food takeaways, £60 a month, and my favourite, apparently a lot of people are spending up to £100 a month on not sending back their online shopping. Now that's me. Are you guilty of paying the tired tax?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the price of coffee, the particular brand that I like, that I won't name.
Oh, go on, name it, you might get a deal.
Nescafe Gold. Smooth. But we've
She's open for all brands.
no, we've invested in a bean to cup machine. We've got the beans and all now.
Did you not feel really, really middle class whenever you got that? I felt so fancy.
No, but it's really good because you get the beans and you can get the roast that you want and all. Anyway, but the price of that coffee was dead hand. It's like £8-9. And I just can't justify that for a jar of coffee. I'm sorry. £9? No.
It's expensive, but the bean to cup is quite. Listen to this middle class problems. We're now talking about roasting beans. We're now talking about roasting beans. But yeah, it is a lot better value. I would never buy a coffee out now.
I know.
So that's the one tax that I don't pay.
We also have a frother, so you can have your cappuccinos, your lattes, and all I do. So very, very fancy.
No, I don't drink coffee at home, scarcely at all. We're a tea house, but I will go into Starbucks, Cafe Nero. Cafe Nero has taken over the world, hasn't it, really? And I think, yes, when I'm tired, I'll go and have a coffee, and I will also eat something sweet, something chocolatey or a bun. I will reach for that bun, and that's probably not a good thing to do. But that sugar hit immediately sorts out the tiredness usually, because when you're tired, you're hungry, I find.
Yeah.
What about you, Teresa? Do you end up not sending your online shopping back?
Well, yes,
I never send mine back.
Yeah. Well, yes, I would be guilty. Yeah, I would be guilty of that. I just think, but we live in such a disposable society as well, that unless you're buying high-end items, which, let's face it, we don't.
Let's face it, I'm not. I'm buying a load of our junk from TikTok shop. I buy so much from TikTok shop.
I haven't got sucked into it yet.
And you just leave it sitting there and go, I will lose weight to get into that. I will, and it hangs.
Yeah, you just donate it. It's not worth the packaging up, labels, going to the post office. It's easier just to leave it.
Why is going to the post office so hard?
I think it's different now because there's so many sub outlets rather than a proper post office where everyone's dedicated. It's just a different experience now that you're walking into a shop. I think again we're guilty of being brainwashed into a particular shop is for a particular thing, and now all of a sudden we have a post office in a Fiji. It's like I don't really want to be going there with my post. I want to go there and get my bread.
Yeah.
Maybe I just haven't made that mental shift yet, where I just think I find myself in the shop before I realise that I should have brought the post with me.
Yes.
But yeah, this feeling tired. When was the last time you didn't feel tired, Caroline?
Before I had my daughter, I blame her. She's 8. Yeah, that's a different level of tiredness.
You always think you're going to catch up. I remember my sister has just had a baby, and I don't want to tell her that she's going to feel really bad until the child goes to school. Basically, it's until the child goes to school.
It's another level, and she's still the same, and she's 8. But you learn to cope. It's just like everything else. It's that, as you say, Jamie, if you're feeling tired, it's usually because you're hungry and you haven't eaten right. Because I was following the Glucose Queen. She was on Channel 4, and it was all about the spiking of your sugar levels.
Yes.
So I was following kind of bits of a diet and getting the real gut feel. There is one that I would like a sponsorship for. The real gut feel. Yes, it's really good for your insides. Because she was celiac and I'm celiac. But I do feel if you eat right, it keeps the natural sugars, and
think
then
so,
the coffee just keeps you at the level.
I'm not talking about eating right. I'm talking about eating
sugar,
chocolate.
eating chocolate.
I was sent via Amazon a lovely big dairy box actually by my niece recently to sort of cheer up the general circumstances. And my goodness, it went in a couple of days. You know, when people say to me, I've got a box of chocolates around, it's been there for a week, I think you don't really like chocolate, you know. And this does help with tiredness, actually, short term.
What do you do whenever you're tired? Do you just nap?
Yes, I do. Yes, I just nap. Yes.
I wish I could.
Yes.
So do I.
I nap a lot.
Yes.
Do you like a nap? But then you're out and about probably a lot at work, aren't you, with your rentals?
I would be on the go from about 6 o'clock every morning. Yeah. I'm at my desk most mornings for about 6:30, and that's been for 7 years. Yeah. And that's been for the past 7 years. It's just been consistent. So weekends, I find if I sit down long enough, I find myself starting to doze.
What do you finish?
Roughly around 5.
That's a very long day.
Well, I do try to get my weekends off, but sometimes things happen.
So we're just going to be tired for it. So yeah, I mean, is this adult life? Do you just spend the rest of your life going, I'm tired, I'm tired? Is that it?
Just keep buying chocolate and coffee, we'll be fine.
I remember whenever I had a baby with my husband, and we were like, I'm tired, and he looked at me and went, right, Kim, until further notice, let's just assume that we're both tired and just stop saying it. Because it was just like, you get sick of hearing yourself saying, I'm tired.
It's a sort of mantra, isn't it?
It's like, I'm tired. Yeah.
It's a sort of mantra, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and maybe an excuse as well.
It is an excuse. Right, let's move on, because we're going to talk about something a bit more spicy.
Local Women Magazine presents Local Women Podcast, the show for things that matter. Keeping an Eye on It podcast from Local Women Magazine is brought to you by Cathedral Eye Clinic, Northern Ireland's leading eye specialist.
Don't just picture a new look. Step right into it at Glen Hill, Stockman's Way. Explore Belfast's biggest media wall displays with bespoke designs from Mivonic and Alir. Plus, stunning multi-fuel stoves and fireplaces. Find your modern way of living only at Glen Hill, Stockman's Way, Belfast.
Transform your home with style and grace. At Decora Blinds Belfast, we offer elegant, made-to-measure blinds, blending beauty with functionality. From vibrant Alumatech aluminium Venetians to stunning shutter blinds, each available in a range of colours and slot widths. Wood or PVC Venetians, you'll hardly know the difference. Add tapes for that extra touch of luxury. Discover timeless design. Discover Decora Blinds Belfast.
Step into style and comfort with Shivers Bathrooms. From timeless traditional suites to sleek, ultra-contemporary designs, we've carefully selected everything you need. Baths, furniture, taps and accessories to create the sanctuary you deserve. Visit Shivers Bathrooms, 21 Hillhead Road, Toonbridge, or follow Shivers Bathrooms on Instagram.
Keeping an Eye on It podcast from Local Women Magazine is brought to you by Cathedral Eye Clinic, Northern Ireland's leading eye specialist.
So we are now going to return to one of our favourite topics. This topic has just developed so much since we started these podcasts. It's the royal family. Now, new research, Jane Hardy, because I know that you love the royals. Well, I don't really. It's just because you're English that I assume you do. I just assume you do. It's not a real sweeping statement.
I love some of them, but I don't want to pay for them.
Well, apparently, even after Andrew Mountbatten Windsor gate, 58% of people still want the royals. Why, Jane? Why?
I think because they represent something like a sort of elegant, unreachable celebrity.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Fergie? Sarah Ferguson?
No, not Sarah Ferguson, but then she's no longer, we can discount her. She's Mrs. Mountbatten Windsor, you know. She'll be writing about it, won't she?
I think she's going to. Do you think that they've given her some kind of a payoff?
I think they must have done.
She'd be like blabbing her big mouth all over the place. Of course, at this stage, we would like to pause to say that, of course, Mr. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has denied all allegations that have been made to him.
Yes, he has.
Caroline, do Do you like the royals? Are you a fan?
I couldn't tell you much about the royals, to be honest. No, they're not. They're not in my interests, shall I say.
I kind of grew up with them a little bit because I grew up on the North Coast, so I grew up in North Antrim. And I remember in primary school, in P2, being given spoons for the royal wedding. Did you get one of those? So it was a royal wedding, it was a spoon and it had Diana and Charles. Do you know why I wish I still had that? Because it's probably worth money. So it was a Diana and Charles silver spoon with their, like, it was really nice.
No, the only thing I kind of really remember is when poor Princess Diana died and the stamps. Do you remember the lovely stamps? And they were lovely stamps.
Lovely, yes.
She did have nice stamps.
Oh, another thing I remember is we actually went to see Buckingham Palace because we were getting a passport. It's rather strange. We were in London, so I thought, let's go and see it. And the smell of rotting bouquets stretching up the Mall and the implacable Buckingham Palace that looked as if it didn't care, and the Queen hadn't come back at that stage. And the flag wasn't at half-mast. No, it wasn't. And people were so... There was an outpouring of emotion, and actually there was a sense almost that the old religion might return in some ways, that this was almost a cult, that this was something slightly more Catholic than Protestant, actually, in its outpouring, its expression. And I think people were quite scared of it and what it might lead to, actually. And the Church of England also didn't cover itself in glory, really.
No, they didn't really react the way people wanted them. People wanted them to react in a certain sort of way, but they didn't.
It was down to Tony Blair to come up with Hey, the People's Hey.
Hey guys, she was a people's princess.
Exactly, yes, which was brilliant. I don't know who wrote it.
It was what you call him wrote it. It was a spin doctor.
Or was it Alistair Campbell?
Alistair Campbell wrote
Yes,
it.
of course it
Mm-hmm. Apparently so.
Yes, but that summed it up, and that she represented something. I saw her 2 or 3 times. I mean, in the distance, Diana, yes. And she represented something quite special. She was beautiful. She looked like, you know, children draw princesses. Yes. I mean, she was that kind of princess, not like, well, Fergie isn't a princess, but her daughters, you know, not like the others somehow, not like Princess Anne. I mean, she looked something otherworldly, something ethereal, you know.
Teresa, are you a fan of the royals?
Do you know, I find myself being quite fan of the late Queen. I did. I don't know if it's because I grew up with her and she was always that, you know, that figurehead. The comfort zone of the known. And you probably find that a lot of people still relate to that. And Catherine, I suppose, has that same air about her as Princess Diana.
How do you feel about paying for them?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Do you not? No, I don't. Not just the looks, but I think the Middletons sort of slightly arriviste, dare I say it. Ouch, yes, that's terrible, isn't it?
So they're a little bit too middle class and not upper class enough. You think they're too nouveau riche?
I think a bit nouveau riche. They had a party firm. That's terrible, isn't it? What's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. And she's become royal, and I think she performs it very well. But I don't think I think it's a performance a bit, and I don't think the warmth comes across like Diana, who did seem very natural, very expressive, you know, very emotional. And
you don't really want to. You don't want to pay for the royals.
No, I don't want to pay for the royals because I think they can genuinely pay for themselves. I mean, they own Cornwall, don't they?
Do they? They own Cornwall, right? Okay. I wish I owned Cornwall. Wouldn't it be great?
Duchy of Cornwall, yes, or most of it, you know. They own all sorts of things all over the United Kingdom, and they have an incredible income, personal income, and I'm not sure that we should sponsor them merely to open things, to congratulate people. I mean, what sort of job is it really? I mean, does it bring in a lot for tourism? They are good at what they do.
And people like it. People love that. You know, if there's a new business and they come and they shake hands, and people love that.
And the late Queen represented a sense of duty that I think has slightly gone with her death. I don't think it's quite the same thing. I don't know, I admire the King, actually. I like his enthusiasms. I like his greenery and tree hugging aspects. You know, I like all that.
The Andrew thing has been a problem because they couldn't get ahead of the story. Or no, they refused to get ahead of the story.
Yes.
Until they were absolutely pushed. And now it's got to the stage that there's nothing they could do that's going to make this better. Like, I think what the people want right now is, you know, Game of Thrones, that famous scene where the girl's got her head shaved and she's walking naked and they're going, shame, shame, shame. I think that's what they want for Andrew. They actually want Andrew to have, you know, they want to open up Westminster Abbey and do like a reversal of him being a prince.
Yes,
That's what they want.
yes.
Like, I don't think people will be happy until that's done to him. And they like throw things at him.
Stripped of everything.
Which I think is almost a shame when you look back at what he was like as a young man, you know, Randy Andy and so on. And he and Sarah Ferguson were thought to be really in love and in lust and all the rest of it. And they were the new royal family, a bit like Harry and Meghan in a way. They were that in back in the day. But it all went so badly wrong, and he seems to have been easily led, I think, is the phrase. Well, no, it's much more than that, yes.
Easily led.
You think of the victims, no, but I'm thinking of the friendship with Epstein, I suppose, at the beginning. And he's not the only one in that set.
Well, he's not. Of course he's not, but he's the only one that we know of for sure. The rest of them are just talk.
They'll creep out eventually. It always does, doesn't it?
Do you think it will? Do you think the whole thing will be exposed?
People will try and hate it for as long. Well, he was hidden for a very long time.
Yes, he was.
So, and then things will just start to unravel. It'll just take one person to open it.
I mean, were you sort of shocked whenever they took the prince off him? They unprinced him. Is there even a word for it?
No.
You weren't shocked? No. I was a bit surprised. I was like, oh, wow, okay, they're taking this seriously.
I feel, from what I watch of them, is that Charles wanted to make a stand, and he was like, right. And obviously, if his mother was here, that probably wouldn't have happened. No. So he's went, no. He's thought about it. He's had conversations with his wife and Camilla and stuff, and he's made the decision to do it. I mean, there's loads of them. It's not just, you have to remember, there's many of them.
More is going to come out.
I definitely, 100% more is going to come out.
I mean, if I was Prince Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, I'd be annoyed because he is being hung out to dry for the crimes of other people, but that's too bad. Like, I don't feel sorry for him. But yeah, I mean, he's taking the full flack for this.
He's taking the rap. Yes.
Yeah, he's taking the rap until. Do you think he should start naming names?
I don't know if he will.
No, I'm not sure he will. No. He will be discouraged by the family, the firm, won't he? Mm-hmm.
I think we'll just leave it there. So this has been the Keeping an Eye on It podcast with my wonderful guests, Teresa, Jane and Caroline. Thanks very much to Cathedral Eye Clinic for sponsoring this. I've been Kim Kelly, the editor of Local Woman magazine. Did you know that Local Woman is the only women's magazine in, I think, Ireland, not just Northern Ireland? It's definitely the only women's magazine in Northern Ireland. But I don't think there is a specific women's magazine in the Republic. Please do ring in if there is. Yeah. But apart from this Woman's Way, but that's different. They're not women's well, you know what I mean. Okay, so there you go. I'm claiming it, okay? Thank you very much, ladies. And tune in next week.
Thank you. Local Women Magazine presents Local Women Podcast, the show for things that matter. Keeping an Eye on It podcast from Local Women Magazine is brought to you by Cathedral Eye Clinic, Northern Ireland's leading eye specialist.